You ever scroll Marketplace late at night, just half asleep, looking at junk you don't even need? That's how it started for me. Past midnight, house too quiet, shadows too thick. My thumb hovered on a listing that made my stomach twist the second I saw it. It wasn't furniture. It wasn't electronics. It was a porcelain doll. At first, I thought it was harmless, but the photo was wrong. Most sellers pose things on shelves, or couches, or kitchen tables. This doll wasn't anywhere. The background was pure black, like it was floating in empty space. And she wasn't sitting. She was standing on a window ledge. Her tiny porcelain hands were pressed flat against the glass, like she was trying to push her way through. Her eyes weren't looking at the camera. They were looking at me. The longer I stared, the more I felt it in my chest, that pull, like she knew I was watching, like she was waiting for me to blink. Below the picture, there wasn't a normal description. No price haggling, no seller info. Just one warning in bold letters. Don't leave her by a window. I should have clicked away, but I didn't. My finger slipped, and before I even realized what I'd done, the order went through. The doll arrived the next day. No return address. Just a battered box, carelessly taped shut. The second I pulled her out, I wished I hadn't. Her porcelain face was cracked with fine veins, like something alive was pushing to get out. One glass eye sat slightly off-center, so her gaze never quite lined up, like she was trying to focus, but couldn't. Her painted lips were chipped, the smile uneven, more like bared teeth. Her thin strands of hair clung to her scalp in brittle clumps. But her hands were the worst. Tiny palms stretched outward, fingers bent and curved, as though she'd been pressing against glass for too long. That night, I couldn't sleep. The air in my room felt wrong, heavy, like someone else was breathing in the dark with me. Then, just past midnight, came the sound. Tap, 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 from the living room window. My body locked. I crept out of bed, moonlight spilling across the floor, until my eyes reached the glass. The doll was there, propped against the window from the outside, one hand raised, tapping. I froze. I had left her in the kitchen, nowhere near the window. My chest heaved. I yanked the curtains shut and ran back to bed. And next night, the tapping came earlier, louder, desperate. I didn't want to look, but I couldn't stop myself. When I pulled the curtains open, she was closer, her cracked face pressed right against the glass, eyes wide, locked on mine. The warning screamed in my head, "Don't leave her by a window." But no matter where I moved her, she always found her way back. The last time I saw her, she wasn't outside at all. She was inside, standing by the window in my bedroom, one porcelain hand already raised, waiting to tap. Would you take the doll home with you? Have you ever bought something online that you knew you shouldn't, but you clicked buy now anyway? That's how it started for me. A sleepless night, mindlessly scrolling Marketplace at 3 a.m. I wasn't looking for anything. And then I saw it. Mystery box, $5. Must buy tonight. No seller photo, no reviews, no history, just an account created that same day. I almost kept scrolling until I looked closer at the listing photo. It wasn't a box. It was my house. I froze, staring at the image of my own front door. My first thought, maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe someone grabbed it off Google Maps. My second thought, this was a stupid prank. But my finger hovered too long, and before my brain caught up, I tapped buy now. The payment went through instantly. No receipt, no tracking number, no way to message the seller. Just silence. 2 nights later, at 12:04 a.m., I woke to a knock at my door. When I opened it, no one stood there. Only a cardboard box sat neatly on the mat, sealed with thick black wax. No label, no address. I should have left it, but curiosity always wins, doesn't it? I carried it inside, peeled away the wax. Inside was a single photograph of me, standing at my own front door, holding the same box I was opening. The picture was sharp, too sharp, like whoever took it was right there with me, in the dark. My hands shook as I shoved the photo back in the box and locked every door, every window. I didn't sleep that night. The next night, the knock came again, louder. Another box. Inside was another photo. Me asleep in bed. Curtains half open. The angle wasn't from the street, it was from inside my room. I tore through the apartment like a maniac. Checked closets, under the bed, the bathroom. Nothing, just silence. On the third night, I didn't answer the knock. I stayed curled in bed, sheets clutched to my chest like a child. But in the morning, the box was waiting anyway. I opened it in daylight, hoping it would feel less terrifying. The photo was of me pouring coffee in the kitchen, taken minutes before I found the package. That's when my stomach turned cold. Someone was watching me, always. Every night since, another box has appeared. Photos of me brushing my teeth, cooking dinner, reading on the couch. Each one sharper, closer, more recent. The last photo wasn't of me at all. It was of my bedroom door, taken from inside. The knock hasn't come tonight. Not yet, but I know it will. And I can't stop thinking. The next box. What if it doesn't have a photo inside? What if it has someone? Would you open it?
I don't usually buy secondhand stuff online, but the ad caught me at the wrong time. Used phone, cheap, must sell tonight. No seller name, no photo. Just an address that didn't exist on any map. And this one strange line.
Don't turn it on until you're home.
I laughed at first. It sounded like some urban legend, but the price was cheaper than coffee. And I told myself I'd scored a deal. Looking back now, I should have known better. 2 nights later, at midnight, I woke up to someone knocking on my door. Not a polite knock either, the kind that rattles the frame. When I opened it, there was no courier, no delivery truck, not even footsteps in the hallway. Just a small cardboard box sitting neatly on the mat. No tape, no label, no nothing. Like it had been left just for me. Inside was the phone. It felt wrong the moment I touched it. Ice cold, spotless, like no human hands had ever held it. Still, I pressed the power button. The screen came alive with only 2 apps: camera and messages. Nothing else. And then, before I touched anything, the camera light blinked once, like it had just taken a picture. I remember whispering to myself, "No way." But when I opened the gallery, my stomach dropped. Every single photo was of me. Me at the cafe last week. Me walking home from work. Me sitting in traffic, head on the steering wheel. And then, worse, me sleeping in my bed. The timestamps didn't make sense. These pictures were taken days before the phone had even arrived. I scrolled faster, hands shaking. Each photo zoomed closer until the last one stopped me cold. It was from outside my window. Curtains half open. My head tilted toward the glass as I slept. That was last night. I dropped the phone onto the counter, my chest so tight I thought I'd pass out. Then the screen lit up with a new notification. One unread message. My fingers felt numb as I tapped it. Nice house. Cozy. Don't close the curtains tonight. The lights in my kitchen flickered twice and went out. That's when the phone vibrated again, hard enough to almost fall off the counter. A new photo appeared. It was me. Not last week. Not last night. Right now. Standing in my kitchen. Staring down at the glowing screen. The timestamp. 3:13 a.m. Another buzz. Another photo. This one wasn't taken from the phone in my hand. It was taken from behind me. I froze. The room felt smaller. The shadows thicker, like the walls were closing in. And then I heard it. The sound of a camera shutter. I couldn't breathe. The phone lit up with one final message, burning in the dark.
The next photo will be the last. Want to see it?
Stay spooked. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more chilling stories.